deserve to live. I deserve air. They don't get to decide if they get to give. Stepping on my brother's necks. We've been here since day one, and I am not next.
They might want to talk about the riot.
Don't shoot!
They might want to talk about buildings burning. But we are going to talk about George Floyd.
While the news has been flooded with scenes of violence and destruction, the site of George Floyd's death in Minneapolis has become a sanctuary, a place of peaceful gathering, reflection, and solidarity. For Brut, we went to the corner of 38th and Chicago to listen to the many voices of residents and organizers demanding an end to police brutality.
We got things right here boarded up. My brother should be somewhere over here. He's guarding the perimeter. And then we have a bus that's guarding down there so nobody can come in and bulldoze or think they're gonna come in and ruin the peaceful thing that we got going on here.
Welcome. Thank you for being here.
We have had to, just because of some white supremacist groups that have been spotted and actually had to be escorted from our peaceful demonstration, we found it necessary. Just give me one moment. Good morning, good afternoon, ladies. Welcome to our demonstration. Welcome. We want people to feel welcome. We want people to feel safe. We want them to know that we are inclusive of everyone. It reminds me of heaven because everyone is represented here and we are all here in love. We're here to help each other. You know, there's devastation. It's horrible. And we are coming together. And we believe that this is a generation, this is a time that something is going to change.
And that's our thing. That's why
George died. There's a big memorial, as you can see, right over there, where most of that crowd is standing. And I've honestly, me personally, I've never seen so many flowers at one memorial, and it's beautiful. In the daytime, it's mostly peaceful. The nighttime is when the cops come and people start getting rowdy because we don't know who's who. Right now, if somebody were to do something like break something, we would all be like, hey, that's not cool. That's not what we're here for.
Come on, somebody grab a picture. You want international news, grab a picture. That sign's right down right now. We're not rocking that. I have no idea who put that up there, and it's okay that it was there when things were going the way that they were going, but we are moving in a positive direction right now, and that is why I am calling for the removal of that sign. Here's what we're doing with it. Somebody grab a picture of this. I used to work in this store when it was a 7-Eleven, 1981. I used to live across the street. You think I want to see this now? I don't want to see this. I want to see love. I want you to see what's going on with this. We got the children, we got the elderly. Here you go.
We don't want it to have mean words, and kids don't need to see all that because they aren't supposed to be living in this type of world.
Oh, that one's empty. I need more spray paint.
It makes me feel really sad and angry that people have been treating my friends and family wrong and making them feel like they're not worthy. And I don't want them feeling hurt. And I don't want them being hurt on the inside.
Keep talking, Scarlett. You're being very powerful right now.
I really don't want them being hurt by rude words.
Say his name. Say his name. Say his name. Everybody's eyes still closed, yes?
Yes!
I want you to imagine your head on the water. I want you to imagine the H2O molecules surrounding your face and taking the oxygen out of your lungs. And I want you to imagine someone having their hand over your head for 400 years. White people, I want you to imagine someone taking their hands and clamping it against your forehead and forcing you to stay underwater and not be able to breathe.
I can't breathe!
And I want you to tell me what you're gonna do. Say it again. I can't breathe.
I can't breathe!
Very liberating, because I feel like this is the only time that we can speak and yell and not look like a madman in society. The senseless murder happened, the senseless murder. It not only shines the light on George Floyd, but it shines the light on everybody else. As you can see their names in the back. It can happen to any one of us, my brother, my uncle. That's the thing. That's why we're saying, who's next? Am I next? I fear for my life every time I see a cop. And now they're droning us, as you can see up there.
That's the police?
I believe so. That's what the police have been doing a lot.
Why are you killing us? We pay you. All taxes go into your pockets, and you can't protect us? It's real easy to forget that we have the power. We're the voice.
Honestly, my biggest hope is that, well, that's the thing, I've lost hope. That's why it's hard to think about it, honestly. I've lost hope, if you really think about it. I don't want to see people getting divided where we are right now. Everybody here is to protest. It's not about white, it's not about black, it's everybody that sees a problem. If you came here to protest and you came out of your day, and I consider you a brother and a sister because you're here for the right reason.
They're names of black people killed by police. A lot of them are from Minneapolis and St. Paul, but also just from around the country. It looks different when you see it all laid out. You know, you say their names and you talk about one person, but seeing them all together, it's a long list. It could go on for a really long time. But I'll keep going. People keep telling me names of friends and family, so I'll just keep going.
I didn't read them all, but I feel like I know some of these people that have been killed by multiple police officers.
All the people that's been killed by the police, like this, it's not gonna stop. Why do the color of my skin got to justify who I am or how I have to live? I got boys. They have to be afraid of growing up. Or the police officers. He always wanted to be a police officer. Nah, I don't know, you know? So.
Do you still want to be a police officer, DJ?
No.
The one thing, because I'm Greek, that we do when we love people is we cook. So I was like, I just need to go feed people. This is a block party that is celebrating black life and black joy. That's all we want, is we just want to be able to be alive and be happy just like everybody else. What I strive for every day when I'm protesting is education. I want to help someone understand more. We're going to city council meetings. We're talking to the mayor. We're writing to people. We're doing the things that people don't see that are like, you should be protesting this way or that way or this way. And it's like, we have been doing that and no one's been listening to us. So if people have to start setting something on fire to say, hey, look at me, yeah, it's people over property. All lives do matter. We completely agree. We completely want it to be like that, but we want to matter as well. We want to feel like we're mattered. It's not black versus white. It's black versus the white system that was not designed with us in mind to begin with. So until we can dismantle that, then we're going to keep having these issues over and over and over again.
On fire here.
Athena is a longtime activist who's protested police brutality in the past. Since the start of the demonstrations, she's been devoting her time and money to cook free meals for the community. Our reporter spent the day with her preparing for her volunteer work. But she had a change of plans due to an uncomfortable interaction with a supermarket worker the previous day.
They were asking us what we needed food for. We said we're getting a lot of food for the protesters because we cook for them every day. He goes, well, don't you mean the looters? And I was, excuse me, you mean the protesters who's like fighting for us and our rights as people and all that? He was like, oh, I didn't mean to say that. I was like, oh, you sure didn't mean to say that? Yeah, so that is why we're not going there.
I'll come help.
Awesome.
And I got white money to donate.
Yes.
I got white money to give to everybody.
That's awesome. Yeah, so yeah, put your number on my phone and then I can send you all the good stuff. Nice to meet
really
you.
Appreciate you. Hey, thanks a lot.
Yeah. When I got arrested, I was protesting with a group I had created called AR-14 for Justice. And that was for the Philando Castile murder that happened, and we had decided that we wanted to do a peaceful protest.
Black lives, they matter! Black lives, they matter! Black lives, they matter!
We were arrived by riot squads, and they pushed me to the ground, and they handcuffed me from behind, and for the next 14 hours, I did not have my handcuffs removed.
when I'm normally working, like when we have normal jobs and normal life, I put aside money every single paycheck to feed the homeless. So no different than doing it for protesters.
We got more over here if you guys want to do both sides. We got pizza and tacos over here.
Yesterday. Oh, you have them now?
No, we don't. Yesterday we brought some, and then today can we have some?
Yeah.
We love those.
Can I grab
Because then we can help you more.
It's important for us to engage with communities and to take a stance in which we as white people are accomplices more than allies. We are able to use our privilege and our bodies to help aid these movements in a way and not make it about ourselves by no means.
It takes a woman to understand what's going on. You know what I mean? Like Marvin Gaye? Marvin Gaye? What's going on? You feel me? Y'all queens, it's your time. It's your time.
I fled my country, Oromia, about 20 years ago. And I was prosecuted just because of who I was. And I came here to the free land. And I thought America was home. I'm free home. And now I have 3 black boys that I'm raising. I am terrified. My oldest is 15. He's about to be 16. He's going to be driving soon. And I'm scared. I'm scared they're going to go out there and they'll never come back again.
This is a big movement. This is going down in history, so this better be a big change. It was way different, like coming in real life, and like seeing what's happening. People only are focused on the bad things that we do. Literally today we were cleaning up a Wendy's that got burned down. That wasn't not even started by black people. And the media just wants to focus on the bad things, just for the views, just for the money.
You can see us over here. Get your ass over here right now. Get over here.
They don't show this in the media, don't worry. This is what they're not going to cover. If you look at the news, you can go do your own personal research. You'll find riots and rants and how people are harming the police and how Target's getting harmed, but they won't show you the love of the community.
Truth, tell it. Truth, tell it. Truth, tell it. You will not discourage our work. You know why? Why? Because you're going to put that blackness up for a reminder.
I feel like anytime this happens, we get loud and then it just goes back to silence and then it just continues. And it's just an endless cycle. So we need to do something to break the cycle. We're way more powerful and that's why they fear us. Because we are way more powerful with our social media. We have cameras going around exposing them. Every single one of us is a camera. And we're just dying and we're just tired of dying.
George Floyd! George Floyd! George Floyd! It is time for us to lead ourselves. We can lead ourselves into salvation.
Protests end here at night, and they tell their stories. They may be loud, but they're peaceful. There has been some scares, but it's supposed to be off limits from the police. This corner has seen lots of death, not just by police, just by crime. It's a bad corner. So the store's history, the cops' history, the race relations in Minnesota's history, everything has culminated on that corner when that knee was in his neck.
This neighborhood has particular significance to the African American community in Minneapolis. That's because historically, it was one of the few areas black people could really call home. Though not unique to the city, the practice of redlining, established by the government in the 30s, excluded people of color from buying property in certain neighborhoods, resulting in racial segregation that continues to this day.
So 38th in Chicago is a historically African-American community. This was one of the first areas where blacks could purchase property, and so this became a commercial district for black and brown businesses. I'm on the city council, so I'm in city council meetings. I've been trying to tell them that this intersection is sacrosanct. It is not to be invaded by militaristic forces. As a black transgender woman, you know, sometimes my voice is not heard either.
We've been protesting protesting, we've been angry for days. Now we're just celebrating, bringing the community back together. We see, now the community is happy. They don't want us to be happy. The community is happy. This just brings us close together.
This district is where Ilhan Omar, the first Somali-American lawmaker, was elected to Congress. While our team was filming on 30th in Chicago, she was recognized in a crowd.
I've been here almost every night, and I really did not intend for any of you to recognize me because I show up every night so I can get the opportunity just to be in community with you. I want my brothers up there to not have the conversations that their fathers and mothers had with them with their sons.
That's right. That's right.
No other community here in the United States goes through a process in which they tell their children how not to get themselves killed by the police officers that are entrusted to protect and serve them. Because what we want is the ability to not just breathe, but to live and thrive.
I'm human. I deserve to live. I deserve air. They don't get to decide if they get to give. Stepping on my brother's necks. What am I next? I don't really know. I could die from a simple text. Just a scan of my color. These niggas thinking out the text. But I ain't really know if I'm next. All I'm telling is that my black people blessed. We've been here since day one, and I am not next.